important because our students today, we have iPad babies, but to actually get outside, to learn about nature, learn about our water source, it's just not happening naturally. So this program makes them excited and makes them want to know more.
Today we have third grade students out on a Watershed Explorers Program field trip, learning about their watershed, where their water comes from, where it goes, and how they impact the quality and the health of their watershed.
I critically understand the importance of environmental education and the impact that it has on our students. The RCD is an amazing asset to help us bring environmental education to life here in Solano County.
They participate in 3 different science stations. One is a stormwater runoff station, another station is our native seeding station, and students also have a water discovery element, looking at these tiny critters in the water that can tell us so much about the health of our watershed.
The best thing I love about the watershed field trip is when we look at the critters, because we can examine them and then we can write about them.
I didn't really know what watersheds in the beginning, but now I'm starting to get what it is. And I really like the water because I've always been like an animal person. And I think that the animals, they want clean water just like us.
You think about overall wellness and getting our young people out in nature and how it helps them to develop a greater appreciation for the world around them. And we have beautiful resources here in Solano County. RCD is helping bring those resources to life for young people and helping them to develop their self-esteem, collaboration, leadership skills, and developing themselves as whole beings.
Today we got to plant wildflower seeds. It was fun and a good way to be respectful to nature and help it.
These programs not only increase student understanding of natural resources, but they also promote mental health and well-being and improve social skills. Students come out here, they have a sense of belonging, and they don't just feel like they're visiting their watershed, but they really learn that they are an important part of it, and they have the power to impact it. So we give them the tools and the knowledge they need to use that power for good.
So I know Solano RCD's goal is to get every third grader out to this experience. It's invaluable because we have to protect our natural resources, and we have to start with our children. If they come in third grade, they learn some things, they come back again in sixth grade, and then the connection is made. And then we become adults who care about our community, care about our land. It just makes everyone better citizens.
When we promote and facilitate these programs, we help cultivate well-rounded individuals who are prepared to face the challenges of tomorrow.
We have a handful of videos on our website for all of our programs. So if anybody is interested in seeing more program videos of all of our programs, I welcome you to go to our
Solano
website.
RCD is a non-regulatory California special district working with diverse stakeholders to restore, protect, and
Thank you. One last thing I'll just mention, the Water Agency is currently deciding on funding for us for future years. There's some situations with what's going on with funding with their board, and I just encourage anyone that does know anyone on the mayors, the Board of Supervisors, to encourage them to continue putting money towards this. This is a legacy program, and I think it's really important that money is set aside so this continues. So thank you. I'll send some field trip dates to Sheila perhaps, and we can perhaps get anyone out who would like to on a field trip coming up this spring. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for that wonderful presentation. Thank you all for waiting so patiently. And now that you've seen your peers, we get to honor those of you who are here to be specially recognized. And on that note, I'd like to welcome Ms. Perry and Dr. Hunley for our recognitions.
All right, everyone, welcome. Today, first, we'd like to honor Mateo Martinez Sandoval, a 5th grader from Anna Kyle Elementary School, has been selected as one of the district's Students of the Month for March 2025. Mateo exhibits strong leadership qualities and is an excellent example of an Anna Kyle Eagle who follows SOAR rules and expectations. Mateo has shown a tremendous amount of growth and development, both academically and personally. He is a hardworking student who consistently challenges himself to excel in all his endeavors. Mateo has demonstrated exceptional academic performance across various subject areas. He grasps complex concepts and is an active participant in class discussions. He uses the same level of enthusiasm and dedication as he does in academics when it comes to soccer, reading, and playing video games. In addition, Mateo possesses a caring demeanor that makes him well respected among his peers. He is always prepared and able to assist his classmates when they face challenges, showcasing his compassionate nature and willingness to lend a helping hand. We congratulate you, Mateo, for being honored tonight as one of the district's Students of the Month for March 2025.
Good evening, Superintendent Sachs, members of the board, teachers, staff, friends, and family. I sincerely appreciate you for taking time to join me in this extraordinary moment. Never in a million years would I believe that I would be selected to be the Student of the Month for Anna Kyle Elementary. First, I would like to thank Mr. Diaz, my 4th grade teacher, for making learning fun and exciting. He's very funny and made learning easier. I would also like to thank Ms. Hernandez for my 5th grade teacher. She helps me understand the work when I do not already know it. She always makes students laugh, and she's kind to everyone. Most importantly, I would like to thank my family. I would like to thank my 2 older sisters and my brother. They would always help me with my homework, and they always support me. I would like to thank my parents for being supportive, even when I am so upset because things are hard and frustrating. They never give up on me, and they provide me with words of encouragement. Thank you for your time and honoring me with this prestigious recognition. My name is Mateo Martinez Sandoval. I truly believe having an encouraging support system and perseverance will take you far in life. I will continue to work hard to achieve my educational goals.
There we go. Here we go. Here we go. Let me do the photos.
And I'd like to also recognize the Anna Kyle team, because this doesn't happen just in isolation, so thank you to the staff.
All right, next up, we have Giovanni Marino, an 8th grader from Crystal Middle School, has been selected as one of the district students of the month for March 2025. It is a pleasure and honor to recognize Giovanni tonight. Giovanni is a member of our school site council and the district student advisory committee. He has worked hard to maintain a 4.0 GPA for all 3 of his middle school years, while being an athlete and musician. He is a member of the Crystal Jazz Band, drumline, and participates in Battle of the Books. Very nice. Athletically, Giovanni has played on Crystal's soccer, track, cross country, and football teams. Giovanni is described as being friendly, studious, hardworking, and helpful. He is an aspiring chef and trumpet player, and he is always interested in learning something new. Gio enjoys playing soccer and piano, relaxing with a book, going on adventures with his family, and spending time with friends in his spare time. He plans to attend Armio's pre-IB program in the fall and is interested in psychology, robotics, and engineering in the future. We congratulate you, Giovanni, for being honored tonight as one of the district's Students of the Month. Here you go.
Before I start, I have to say that I am honored to receive this award that only a few students in our district receive each year. I first want to thank my family, specifically my mom and dad and abuela, for always pushing me along, and the teachers and staff at Crystal for guiding me in the right direction. I remember sitting in the crowd and watching other students from other schools receive this award, and at that moment I already thought in my mind that that was where I would be standing. The support I received along the way has been a real cornerstone in helping me make decisions that have led me here today. Reflecting on that time, being a student in any grade always comes with new challenges, but I think we should take them and use them to grow. This award doesn't just show that I was a good student, it's a testament to the late nights studying or doing work and the determination and willpower that I showed to make things that I want happen. Lastly, I would like again to humbly thank everyone who supported me in this journey, and I will use this to add to my determination to achieve my goals. Thank you.
And we'll go over here and take pictures.
And thank you to the middle school, our Crystal Middle School team, for your support of our students.
Okay, good evening, everybody. May I please have Sage Schultz come up here? Sage Schultz, a 5th grader at Nelda Mundy Elementary School, has been selected as one of the District Students of the Month for March 2025. Sage has been a student at Nelda Mundy since she was in kindergarten and consistently excels in all areas of her education. Her dedication to her studies, attention to detail, and strong work ethic are evident in everything she does. Sage is a well-rounded student who goes above and beyond, both academically and in extracurriculars. She serves as a host for our weekly morning announcements, is a leader in the student council, a member of the cleanup club, and attends art club during lunch twice a week. Outside of school, Sage is a competitive dancer, spending 10 to 12 hours a week at practice. Her dedication to dance has earned her numerous awards and accolades. We congratulate you, Sage, for being honored tonight as one of the District Students of the Month for March.
Good evening, Superintendent Sachs, Board President Patero, and members of the Governing Board. My name is Sage Schultz, and I am a 5th grader from Nelda Mundy Elementary School. I'm honored to be here tonight representing my school. I would like to thank my teachers, the wonderful office staff, and principals for always pushing me in my academics. I would also like to thank my family for always believing in me. I hope I can continue being a role model as I finish this year at Nelda Mundy and move on to Green Valley Middle School. Thank you.
And thank you to the Nelda Mundy team for all of your support of our scholars.
Okay, last but certainly not least, can I please have Madison Salgado? Madison Salgado, a 5th grader from Rolling Hills Elementary School, has been selected as one of the District Students of the Month for March 2025. Madison Salgado is an amazing young woman. She has been a student at Rolling Hills since TK and has exemplified what it means to be a Red Hawk all along the way. She is dedicated to her studies in all academic areas with a quiet confidence. Her attention to detail and work ethic always shine through. Madison's integrity inside and outside the classroom is another area that should be commended. At Rolling Hills, we encourage our students to be safe, kind, and responsible. Madison is a student who goes above and beyond to follow our 3 Bs and be an example of how a Red Hawk should be. Outside of school, Madison loves to swim and spend time shopping with her mom. Me too, girl. Madison has also participated in gymnastics for the past few years. We congratulate you, Madison, for being honored tonight as one of the District Student of the Month for March. Okay, I think you need this little stand over here.
Good evening, everyone. First, I want to start off by saying that I'm grateful to be recognized as Student of the Month for Rolling Hills. It is a reminder that hard work pays off. I work hard at doing my best in everything, not just academics. I make sure that I am always being a good role model to the other students on campus. Lastly, I would like to thank my family, teachers, and principal for supporting me. Thank you.
And a shout out to the Rolling Hills team for all of your support. Thank you.
Congratulations to all of you, and we still have more recognitions. Item 4B, recognition of the 2025 Solano County Middle and Elementary School Spelling Bee winners. Woo! Dr. Sheila McCabe, Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services, will be here to present it to all of you.
Good evening, Superintendent Sachs, Board Member Patero. Solano County Office of Education hosted the 49th annual Solano County Elementary Spelling Bee for 4th to 6th grade students on March 1st. In addition, they expanded the competition this year to also include middle school students in 7th and 8th grade. 89 students from 42 elementary schools and 10 secondary schools competed, and I'm super excited to say that FSUSD brought home 6 of the top 10 awards. To me, that's a perfect example of what it means to be premier. At this time, I'd like to introduce and have come up to join me Mr. Steve Trotter, principal at Green Valley Middle School, and Ms. Colleen Hutchinson, principal at Virtual Academy, who have the award-winning students. We are going to start with the middle school grades. In 5th place, from Green Valley, Jay Takar. In 3rd place, Valley Middle, Emily McKibben. And in 2nd place, and will be representing Solano County at the state competition later on in April, is Gwen Sabio from the Virtual Academy. In the elementary level, I'd say we had a clean sweep with 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place. In 3rd place, from Green Valley Middle School, is Zara Verk. My understanding from all reports was that it was quite a competition between 1st place and 2nd place, and being edged out just barely, earning 2nd place, and again representing Fairfield-Suisun, as well as the Solano County at the state competition in May, is Kayla Wu from Green Valley Middle School. And the Solano County champion, winning 1st place from the Virtual Academy of Fairfield-Suisun, is Sadia Hennis. I can't tell you how proud I am of these individuals. I'm proud of the teams from Green Valley and from Virtual Academy that represented Fairfield-Suisun so well. I think this is the first time in many years that the district has done so well at this competition. So we're grateful for this opportunity to be able to honor them. We'd love to have you join them. We're going to move the students a little bit more to the center, let the principals join them so we can get a picture. Again, congratulations, scholars. Congratulations.
Congratulations, everybody. You get all your pictures from your families? Everybody got their pictures down? All right. Everybody have a wonderful evening. Thank you. Congratulations to all of the honorees and all the Spelling Bee members, families. Take them out to dinner. They can go to school tomorrow, nice and fresh, and complete our March challenge, right? Let's go. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. We'll take a short break while everybody gets together before we move on. All right, thank you very much, everybody. Now we're at the point of item 5, public comment. This is an opportunity for members of the public for speeches not to exceed 3 minutes, to share comments that are not on the agenda and are within the subject matter jurisdiction of this board. Also, please note that all comments are going to be taken under consideration of the board and of the district. Do we have any public speakers, Madam Speaker? Madam Clerk.
We do, Madam President. We have 2 speakers this evening. The first one, I hope I say it right, is Rieta Morris-Marty. Hi, come on up.
I saw that. Okay. Good evening, Madam Superintendent and members of the board, and Perla and Monica. I'm here. My name is Rieta Morris-Marty. I'm a 26-year employee, and I want to say the last 3+ years of my employment here have been the worst years of my life. I've seen things. I was warned not to come here, not to say anything. I've stumbled across something called a board policy manual, and I want to ask, what is that? What does it do, and who enforces it, or what? And I ask that question because I've seen a lot of things. I've seen students, staff, and the general public's health put at risk. I've seen professional standards. I've seen people abused, especially by upper management, and everybody just does this and acts like they don't see it. You're not supposed to say anything. I know people that using district equipment and it's causing them physical pain and injury, and nobody's doing anything about it. Again, I was warned not to come here and say anything, but I don't scare easy. The only person that intimidates me is Maxine Morrison, that's my mother. And she told me, when you see wrong, you stand up and you say something. And I'm here to ask you, what is anybody gonna do about it? That's all, thank you.
And our next speaker is Gianna McDougald. I'm sorry. I was so focused on getting your first name correct.
Good evening, Gianna McDougald. Good evening, Board President, Superintendent. and board trustees, Ms. Summers and Garay, and I hope I pronounced your name correctly, because I think that a lot of times we don't acknowledge how wonderful you all are. You all always show up, and you're always so pleasant. So just take half a second off from my acknowledging them. As we all know, currently, and I don't have anything earth-shattering to say, but I do want to say this. As we all know, currently, many are experiencing a lot of angst at the thought of cuts in education. And as a community member and parent of former FSU SD students and currently relatives of current students, I just want to applaud and salute our fabulous superintendent, our trustees, and school staff at every level. We may not always agree, but please know that I think I represent most community members. We stand in support of FSU SD initiatives. We are in this together, and we thank you for all your work and dedication to our gems, our students, and thank you for allowing me to speak. We cannot be distracted by national sounds, but we have to focus on keeping FSUSD as one of the best districts in the country. And thank you so much. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
There are no further speakers.
Okay, thank you very much, and thank you to all our public speakers. Thank you for being here, and thank you for your advocacy. Moving on, we go to our consent calendar. Are there any items to be pulled from the consent calendar?
Hi.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi. May I move to approve the consent calendar after pulling for discussion in order item 10V as in Victor, dealing with board orientation?
Excellent. Do we have
a motion?
Do you have a second? The motion is to approve the consent calendar minus item 10B. Do we have a second?
I think Mr. Flynn just
Oh, second. Okay, may we have discussion, please, Dr. Tilley? We passed the consent calendar. What was your issue on 10V? Did you want to have a discussion?
10B, I wanted to pull it to discuss
We just did.
I thought you said that you wanted to do it in order, so forgive me. If you'd like me to speak to it, the issue on 10V, there were 3 that are in the questions that were submitted in writing before. And the issue for me is on the why are we eliminating collective bargaining information from the new board member orientation. The staff answer was that the policy has been revised by CSBA, but I'm not sure that prior drafts of the CSBA policy ever referenced collective bargaining. And I find it unproductive to deprive both our incoming new board members as well as returning board members with access to critical information regarding the collective bargaining information and process, especially as we're coming onto the negotiation season right now. So I would like to respectfully request that section, the section that was set for deletion, which is just collective bargaining in red, that not be deleted and that be retained in the policy so that we can all have access as a continuous lifelong learners to the information to assist us in doing our job.
Mr. Flynn?
Just a point of clarification. Do we have to vote to approve the rest of the consent before we're tackling 10B?
Yes, that's what I thought we were going to do. So if we could approve the consent calendar minus 10B, and that was the motion, and Mr. Flynn seconded it. May we have a vote, Ms. Perry?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So now we have the discussion, right? So the consent calendar has been passed, and now we're on 10B.
10B out of order. For the reasons I just stated, I would ask that we just retain the collective bargaining language in our board policy for future use.
Is there
Move approval with the revision?
Second. Thank you.
Okay. All in favor, Ms. Perry?
Yes.
In favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any objection? Oh, thank you very much. There you go. So that goes back to governance committee? Okay, cool.
No. It's not going back to governance.
What happens then?
It's been approved as amended.
I see.
I requested language that was highlighted in red.
To bring that back.
There was a proposed deletion in the body of the resolution or the board policy to delete collective bargaining. Instead, we are going to not delete collective bargaining, just those 2 words.
Right. Cool.
And they won't be deleted from the policy. Thank you.
Is that cool? Is that cool? Right on. All right, moving on, we have, let's see, no action items on number 11, action item educational services. We move on to number 12, right? Business services, a review and potential approval of the second interim financial report and certification of district's ability to meet financial obligations for 2024 and 2025 pursuant to Education Code 33129. Oh, Ms. Amanda Rich, you have the floor.
Good evening, President of the Board and Superintendent Sachs. It is my pleasure to present for your review and potential approval our 2024-25 second interim financial report. Here is a visual of a single year of our budget cycle. We are moving the dial now to point toward our second interim report, which is a snapshot in time of our revenues and expenditures for the period ending January 31st, 2025. Listed here are the documents included in our second interim report. There are 3 different certifications a district may self-certify as. Tonight, administration is recommending a positive certification, and that means the district will be able to meet its financial obligations for the current year and 2 subsequent years. To highlight, we are projecting a decrease in our unrestricted fund balance of $13.4 million. This is partially due to the carryover of prior year funds that were not fully spent in the previous fiscal year. We are also projecting a decrease in our restricted fund balance of $54.2 million, and this is entirely due to the fact that we didn't spend all of our prior year restricted dollars in the previous fiscal year. This gives us a total projected decrease in our general fund balance of $67.7 million. One of the measurements we must do at each budget period is to ensure we are meeting our 3% minimum reserve requirement. So based on our second interim general fund expenditures, 3% is calculated at $11.5 million. We currently have $17.6 million already set aside in our special reserve, also known as Fund 17. This balance consists of the economic uncertainty and our textbook commitment. And as always, I would like to point out the $17.6 million will not even cover 1 month of payroll for the size of our district. I am pleased to report our projections reflect a positive cash flow balance at the end of the fiscal year. Borrowing will not be necessary, but if cash runs low, we have these options available to us. Listed here are the budget assumptions used to build our current year budget and our multi-year projection for the 2 out years. We have the state-adopted cost of living adjustment figures and our funded ADA projections for the upcoming years. So some noteworthy changes from first interim to second interim, or January 31st, a decrease in our salary and benefit expenses due to lower than expected salary costs and vacant positions. And then lastly, we identified opportunities to strategically leverage restricted one-time funds to cover the expenses that would have otherwise been funded with our unrestricted dollars. So what are the next steps? In May, the governor will reveal his May revisions to the state budget. And in June, we will review the specific impacts of what that means for us here locally. We will present the 2025-26 final draft budget on June 12th with potential adoption on June 26th. And with that, administration recommends approval of the 24-25 second interim report. I turn it back to Board President Patero for discussion.
Thank you very much. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
That was Helen Tilley and Hunley. And discussion. Dr. Tilley.
I'm always thrilled when we have information that indicates that we can have a positive rating. And I also really want to commend the past board as well as the current board for the foresight they showed in making the necessary adjustments back last year to bring us to a balanced budget without cuts and without layoffs. I think it is magnificent, and our superintendent, thank you for shepherding that as well. I wholeheartedly am delighted that we can adopt and certify that it is a positive balance. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Flynn.
Yes, I agree with Board Member Tilley. We obviously have a fiduciary responsibility and ensuring that at the same time we try as best we can to keep cuts away from the classroom. So I support approving this as a positive certification, and I will just say I am very proud that this district has had no audit findings. There are some districts that have had significant financial issues, and it has plagued both their boards and district operations. I'm proud that we're not one of those districts. So.
Excellent. Is there any more other board discussion? Right on, Ms. Perry.
Yes.
Members of the board, all in favor?
Aye.
Any objection? Passes. Thank you very much. Now we're on to item 12B, review and potential approval of award of RFP 223626, Child Nutrition Services, Produce and General Produce. There is no presentation. By the way, do we have any public speakers for the rest of the meeting, Dr. Tilley?
Oh, thank you for inquiring, Madam President. None are listed currently. Thank you.
All right. May we have a motion to approve this, please?
Approval. Move approval.
Second.
Mr. Flynn, second by Dr. Hunley. Do we have discussion? Ms. Perry. Oh, sorry. Ms. Tilley, did you have a discussion?
I'm late to the party.
Oh, so sorry.
Okay, but no, it's okay. I had a little brain fade there. So here's my deal. I'm seeing that all of the federal funding for the healthy lunch programs is being cut, and I'm not understanding why that doesn't affect this program.
What is being reported out there, one of the food service programs is one that you would have to apply for, and it's not one of the funding sources that we applied for. So some of the grants that are being talked about in the media, that the funding is being cut, doesn't impact us because it wasn't one that we ended up receiving.
Hooray! Thank you,
Yeah,
Superintendent.
hooray.
Any other discussion? Ms. Perry.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, no opposition. Moving on to item 12D, and that is a review and potential approval of award of RFQP 222426 after-school programs to, did I miss that? Oh, did I not do, oh my God, I see in front of me and I'm going to D. Item C, review and potential approval of award of bid 223426 copy paper to Liberty Paper. There's no presentation. May we have a motion to approve?
Move approval.
Second.
Helen, that was Tilley and Flynn. Any discussion? All right, Ms. Perry.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any objection? That passes. Moving on to item D, 12D, review and potential approval of award of RFQP 224426 after-school programs to Alpha Best Education, Inc., Catalyst Family, Inc., the City of Fairfield, the City of Suisun, Creative Outreach, Right at School, LLC, Think Together. There is no presentation, no public speakers made. Is there any discussion? Oh, may we have a motion, please?
Enthusiastic move approval, and thank you to staff and to all of the participants for training the next generation of our learners and our community members.
Yeah, do we have a second? Second. Tilly and Flynn, is there discussion? Oh, sorry? Oh, Dr. Parr seconded that? Oh, was that Ms. Perry? Second by Dr. Parr. Is there any discussion? Right on, Ms. Perry.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Moving on to item E, review and potential approval of award of bid 224826, materials and equipment for arts and music, round 3, to Blick Art, Music and Art, West Music, Wenger Group Corporation, Washington Music, Sweetwater School Specialty. There is no presentation. Do we have a motion?
Move approval.
That was Mr. Flynn. Any second?
Second.
Second by, was that Dr. Duarte? And do we have discussion? Ms. Perry.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Right on, motion passes. Item F, that's where we are now, right? Annual review and potential approval of resolution number 502425, requesting the treasurer to make a constitutional advance of anticipated tax revenues. There is no presentation. There are no public speakers. May we have a motion, please?
I move.
Yay.
That was Dr. Duarte. We have a second.
Yeah. Tilly.
Dr. Tilly, any discussion? All right, Ms. Perry.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Any objection? So moved, so passed. On to item G. There we go. Review and potential approval of the FSUSD Citizens Bond Oversight Committee's annual report for the 2024 calendar year. There is no presentation. May we have a motion?
Move approval.
Was that Mr. Flynn?
Yes.
Oh, yes, second?
Second.
Second by Dr. Tilly. Any discussion? All right. Ms. Perry?
Yes.
Oh, was it? Oh, I'm sorry, Dr. Parr. Thank you. It sounded like I know. You're both very sultry, your voices. So that was Dr. Parr. Ms. Perry, did you vote?
Yes.
And all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Any opposed? All right. Thank you very much. That was passed. And now we're moving on to item H. And this is a review and potential appointment of Ms. Sukhvinder Suki Basra and Ms. Annika D. Harris to the Fairfield-Suisun Unified School District, the School District Citizens Bond Oversight Committee. There is no presentation. May we have a motion, please?
Please, I move to approve.
That would be Dr. Tilly and Mr. Flynn. May we have any discussion?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to, number one, thank these citizens for stepping up and being willing to serve on this extremely important oversight committee, which keeps everyone informed and aware and alerts in the event there's ever any problem with the expenditures of public funds that we've earned in trust. I also had asked that we acknowledge the committee overall, the oversight committee. They meet frequently. They are so smart. And they do such thorough, good work. So I just wanted to commend them. So yes, I recommend approval.
Thank you very much, Mr. Flynn.
Thank you. I agree with Board Member Tilly. And I think it's also important to note that we are delivering on what is required in terms of independent, objective oversight for our Measure S tax dollars that are going to make a difference in students' lives. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ms. Perry?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any objection? All right, motion passes. Moving on to action item 14, Superintendent Administration Governing Board review and potential approval of the out-of-state travel for board member. Oh, did I miss another one? Goodness gracious, where are we? 13A. I have 4 different things in front of me. And I'm skipping ahead. 13A, Human Resources. There we go. Review and potential approval of the revised student school. Oh, that would be important, huh? Revised student school calendar so they know where to be next year. For the 2025-26 school year, there is no presentation. May we have a motion, please?
So moved.
Dr. Parr moved. May we have a second?
I second.
Dr. Duarte and discussion. No discussion, Ms. Perry?
Yes.
Right on. You don't have to be here next year for that one. That was nice and easy, huh? Everybody else, members of the board? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Any opposed? Right on. Now we go on to 14. Sorry? Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, this is the next one, 14, right? Oh, did somebody want to speak to that? No? Okay. 14, review and potential approval of out-of-state travel. This is where we are now, right?
Mm-hmm. That's correct. Move approval.
Okay, may we have discussion, please?
Second.
Oh, I'm sorry, goodness, second by whom?
Second.
Mr. Wilson. All right, discussion.
May I?
Yeah, you want to go first?
Yeah, may I speak?
Dr. Tilly, please.
Yeah. I just wanted to share, I believe it's to be the active advocates for our students' futures, and that means engaging at every level, local, state, and federal. It means becoming better educated on the issues that affect our district, bringing resources to benefit our district, and I feel SBA offers a unique opportunity of. So, Trustee Tilly earlier, and I volunteered to forego the per diem for meals for this conference to save the district money. So I'm happy to make that as an amended motion.
Dr. Tilly?
Thank you. Trustee Hunley. So, yeah, what we talked about, because you could see in my comments, I'm like, really, $4,100? No, and I'm so grateful to you. So it was so wonderful to be able to speak to Trustee Hunley to learn that, in fact, what her needs are is air, registration, and hotel. And that's a screaming deal at $2,100. So I am grateful that you are going to commit your time and that you're willing to help our students in our district by accepting air, registration, and hotel in lieu of per diem. So thank you. With that amendment, I would strongly support that motion.
Thank you. Mr. Flynn.
Thank you. As someone who, along with Board Member Tilley, was recently elected to CSBA Delegate Assembly, I just want to note that CSBA is a really great resource for advocacy. We recently elected appointed Director Robin Jankowitz of the Napa Valley Unified School District, and she's already doing an incredible job working along our LEAs. I think it's very important that we, in the midst of federal crisis, are ensuring that we do everything we can to support education on the federal level. While the vast majority of our dollars are state dollars, we do receive federal dollars that support our most needed students. So if there's anything that we can do as board members to do that, we are spending money on a plane ticket and a hotel, but I think the return is exponentially greater. So thank you.
Are there any other discussion? Mr. Wilson.
I'm slightly uncomfortable with the cost and the out-of-stateness of it, but advocacy is important, and I think our board, I'm interested in us doing more, and including at the state level, which is the annual advocacy day, which is on Zoom now, and at the federal level. The cost, for an individual board member, when you add the CSBA conference, which is probably, I don't know, $1,000 or $2,000, and this would be above the individual allotment, but I doubt it would exceed the budget for all 7 board members. And I would be comfortable supporting this if we informally adopt the practice of every year rotate a different board member onto this advocacy trip. Now, there would be no legal force to that because I would likely vote to support the motion, but I would hope we would institute the practice of every year commit to sending one of us and have that one person rotate starting this year with Dr. Hunley. So that's my position. Thank you.
Wow, that was nice. So is there any other discussion?
I would just say I would support that practice. Go ahead.
Yeah, the only thing I would like to add, because yes, I agree with everything that's been said, is to make sure that we get back all the information that has been learned out there. So each one of us having an opportunity to go there and bring back and educate everybody else on what we're learning and advocacy and helping education is going to be great. So I fully support her going, again, hoping to learn something extra.
Absolutely, and typically when we go on board for conferences, one comes back and provides a written report, or if you'd like, we could have each come back and present an oral report for the board based on their trip, on their conference experience, and also a written report if you'd like to in terms of advocacy. That sound right, Mr. Wilson?
I'd like to add one thing. Again, informally, I hope that the normal reimbursements are in effect, including the per diems and et cetera. That would be my preference. Although we're not voting that, I understand that. I just wanted to mention that's my preference. Thank you.
Excellent.
I agree with Board Member Wilson.
Right on. So the motion is to support Dr. Tinley's trip to a conference. What were you going to say, Dr. Tinley?
The motion, it's an amended motion. The motion is to approve, subject to a cap for the cost of hotel, air, and registration at an estimated cost of $2,100, which is very gracious. Thank you.
Right on. And did we have a second for that? Do we maybe have a second? So Dr. Tilley is making the motion that, yeah, and so now we're going to vote on it. And you made the second. Ms. Perry. Oh, is there any more discussion? All right, Ms. Perry.
Yes.
Right on. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Congratulations. Thank you so much, Dr. Hunley, for representing our board in our advocacy. I know that you have a lot of experience on the federal level, and I think your connections and your networking there will be very beneficial to our board. So I really appreciate you going there and then refer the discussion in future years to come. Ms. Tilley?
It just occurred to me, based on the discussion, would it be the board's preference to have another motion indicating that the board supports sending a member each year? Or is that something that we're just going to adopt informally as a policy?
Mr. Flynn?
I think that we're putting a bit maybe the cart before the horse in doing that. I think that may be something for a later discussion. I just don't think that that would be appropriate for a formal motion. Sure. Thank you.
Here. All right. Thank you very much, and thank you all for that discussion and for the suggestion that you had, Mr. Wilson. I think that's wonderful, and I think also in future too, for each of our board members to look for conferences where your expertise can be beneficial and in your advocacy there for the board. So if you look at other conferences that you might think might be beneficial for us, please by all means. 4 years ago, I went to the CUBE conference. It was like the Urban Educators Conference, and that was really helpful too. I get back, there was, so think about other conferences you can go to, yeah? Right on.
I was just going to comment, and wherever we can, by not accepting these per diems for meals, it may make more conferences accessible to more board members.
Thank you so much. All right, on that note, we'll move on to informational items. Item number 15, Educational Services 2025 FSUSD Local Indicator Report Draft. Dr. McCabe, you have the floor. Thank you so much for waiting for us.
Thank you again, Superintendent Sachs, Board Member Patero. I'm delighted to bring to you the draft of the Local Indicator Report, which helps guide the development and updates to our Local Control and Accountability Plan, or LCAP. This is a report that we provide annually, and so for some of the members, this report will look somewhat familiar. So just as a reminder, and I know we've talked about many times, but the LCAP is a tool to guide our development of our goals, our actions, and then leveraging our resources to improve student outcomes. It is a 3-year plan, but it's a plan that we're required to update every year. We're now about 6 months into the 3-year plan. Maybe we're now 7 months into the 3-year plan. When we write the LCAP, we have to align it to 8 state priorities. And so even though it is a local plan, the state does guide or drive many of the components that are within the plan. And so you'll see the 8 outcomes there, or 8 priorities that we're required to write our LCAP to. Many of those priorities are identified in terms of the metrics that demonstrate growth based off of either the state assessments that the superintendent talked about earlier in the meeting that the students will be taking momentarily, or the update of data through our data system, such as around attendance. When we see the dashboard, which is ultimately what these priorities will create and the metrics that we create, so this is our dashboard that we gave a presentation on earlier this year, most of those gas gauges, the different color gas gauges, are because of the updates of the data. But there are a handful of metrics that are identified from this local indicator report. And so sometimes it's confusing because you'll look at it and say it doesn't include all of the priorities. Why have you skipped priorities? And it's because it's only these priorities that the local indicator report has to be written to. Attached to this agenda is not only this presentation, but it's actually the full draft report. And I won't go through all of that because it's about, I think this year it's about a 16-page report, and we'll let you read that on your own as you should desire. It's also a report that will come back at the time when we present the LCAP, because us doing this early is actually something that is not required by the state, but we believe the information that we gather as part of this helps inform any updates to the LCAP. So we actually complete it early, even though the state technically doesn't have us bring it back until the June meeting when we bring back the draft of the LCAP. So again, there's only a handful of the priorities that are covered in this report, and those others 4, 5, and 8 are collected from the state in other ways. So priority number 1 is the steps to meet it. And so rather than going through exactly what the components are of each of those priorities, I'm just going to tell you the steps that we complete in order to do this. In this case, it's the Williams report, and so you will see quarterly information about the Williams report as well as the inspections at the beginning of the year, and that's truly the process that we use to identify the information that has to be turned over to the state. In addition to completing that reflection tool based on the Williams report, information has to be presented to the governing board, and then the results of this are reported to the California Department of Education. For priority 2, which is the implementation of academic standards, for this one we actually survey our staff. And so earlier this year a survey was sent out to our staff regarding the implementation of instructional materials and professional development in each of the core areas, as well as in foreign language, or world languages, career technical education, physical education. And then that information is used in order to identify how well we are implementing the state standards. Priority 3 is around parent engagement, and for that one there's a survey instrument that the state gives us. We survey all of our parents and then use that information to identify our progress in it's not only about whether our parents feel like they're being communicated with, but how well we're doing in terms of including them in the decision-making process. Even though I said I'm not going to mention a lot about the data, I will say that the survey results show that our parents are feeling as though they are more included in the decision-making process, and I honestly believe it's programs such as what we were learning about earlier today with the Parent Leader Training Institute that impact parents feeling as though they're more engaged in the process. Standard number 6 is around school climate, and every year our students, our staff, and our families take a survey. This is different than the other survey our staff took and are different from the other survey our parents took. And it gives us information around the health and wellness of our schools, as well as the health and wellness of our students. And then that data is used to let us know information about how safe and secure they're feeling on the campuses, whether that's staff, students, or families. The information has to be reported in local indicator report and then also then posted on our websites. Finally, priority 7 is around access to the broad course of study. And in this case, our team in elementary ed and secondary ed actually go in and analyze the number of students in the various classes that include college prep classes and core classes, CTE classes, and then try to look closely to see whether or not there's any demographics that we see that are prevented from being able to access those classes. An area that has been of concern for many years have been are the students who are receiving special education services or students who are English learners being able to access elective classes and career technical education classes, because those extra periods that they have in the day are often used for intervention classes. We have been able to use one-time funding over the last few years to offer an extended day for those students should they choose, so that they also have access to those elective classes. And it's one of those areas that we're concerned we're going to lose as these one-time fundings begin coming to an end. With that, that completes the report. Again, you're going to see this report in June, just attached as an information item, and know that the various committees that you've now met in the presentation so far this year, in this as well as other information that has been gathered to begin making any recommended updates to the LCAP, which will be brought back forward to the board in June. Thank you.
Thank you. Board discussion? No? Thank you very much. Well, moving on to item 16, there's a written report, review of financial statement for the month ending January 2025. There is no presentation. Is there any discussion? That is coming up, and that is coming up right now. And that is item 19B, Expanded Learning Opportunities Program Updates. Principal of After School Programs, Mr. Daniel Garcia, you have the floor, sir.
Good evening, Superintendent Sachs, Board President Patero, members of the board, and community members. My name is Daniel Garcia, and I'm the District Administrator overseeing the Expanded Learning Programs. This evening, I will provide everyone with an update on the Expanded Learning Opportunities Program. Our district has offered the program since fall of 2022 and operates under Ed Code 46120. It is funded based on an unduplicated student percentage of less than 74.99%, and it is required to be offered to students in TK through 6 that are unduplicated. We currently offer the program at 24 TK through 8 school sites with a high school component that we added in fall of 2024. The program runs until 6 p.m. on regular school days and provides 9-hour sessions on 30 additional days beyond the regular school year. Since fall of 2022, we have seen steadily enrollment growth. As of March 1st, we have 2,763 students participating in our program, a substantial increase from previous years. The most significant growth has been in TK to kinder and 1st through 5th grade groups, demonstrating an increased need for the program in our district. ELOP benefits our community in a number of ways. The program offers a safe, supervised environment beyond regular school hours, increasing instructional time by an average of 850 hours per school year. It provides personalized instruction through iReady, as well as opportunities for physical activity, social and emotional support, and co-curricular activities such as STEAM. Additionally, it helps families by offering after-school care. We now look at the anticipated changes for the expanded learning program in the 25-20 school year. The first change will be the after-school education and safety program. Since 2008, the City of Fairfield and the City of Suisun have administered ACES programs at 7 school sites in our district. However, as of July 1st, 2025, new CDE guidelines mandate that only school sites can receive ACES funding. As a result, FSUSD will take full responsibility for managing and overseeing these programs. This includes compliance, reporting, budgeting, and auditing. We are working with our city partners to ensure a smooth transition. The next section is based on the governor's budget proposal and its impact to our district. FSUSD is currently funded using a Tier 2 funding model. This means we must offer ELOP to unduplicated students in grades TK through 6, targeting low-income, foster youth, unsheltered students, and English learners, with a requirement to serve up to 50% of eligible students. And this includes this is without a wait list. In the governor's proposal in January, it was proposed that the threshold for Tier 1 would change from 75% to 55%. This means FSUSD will become Tier 1. Under this model, ELOP would expand access to all TK through 6 students with a capacity based on space availability, allowing for a wait list. Both Tier 1 and Tier 2 includes the option for serving students from the 7th grade to the 12th grade. Tier 1 impacts on FSUSD. The proposed changes aim to provide more predictable and stable funding, while also increasing program enrollment. To accommodate more students, additional facilities will need to be utilized, and the program plan guide will be updated to reflect universal access. Staff will also ensure that collaboration with service providers supports the expansion of our program. Of course, as mentioned in the February budget presentation to the board by Ms. Grindle, the governor's proposal can change, and we are waiting for the May revise. We anticipate these changes will cause substantial change to our current funding for our after-school programs. Due to the Tier 2 funding, the Expanded Learning Opportunities Program allocation has fluctuated a bit over time, decreasing from $10.99 million in 22-23 to $9.2 million in 24-25. If the governor's proposal is signed in June, the funding would increase to approximately $17.8 million in 25-26. In addition to the ACES funding of about $1 million, which is projected for the 25-26 school year, bringing the total funding for the 25-26 school year to approximately $18.9 million. We are excited to continue expanding our program to provide safe, supportive, and enriching learning environments for our students. We sincerely appreciate the board's foresight and commitment, which has allowed ELOP to grow alongside our dedicated staff, ensuring even greater support for our students and families. Thank you for the opportunity to share this information about our programs. Thank you.
Thank you. Board discussion? Dr. Tilley.
Principal Garcia, I just wanted to point out that, number one, that doubling of the budget could not come at a better time if, in fact, we now need to transfer from city resources to offer the ELOP program to our school sites. So let's just keep our fingers crossed that that budget holds. I also want to note that the program has been hugely successful. It's one of the few indicators on the dashboard where we are seeing growth. And our students, since over 50% of our students are English language learners across the board, it's really gratifying to see that this investment in this program is bearing fruit. And I want to thank all of those who are involved in this program in making that successful.
Thank you very much, Mr. Flynn.
Thank you. I agree with Board Member Tilley. Thank you, Principal Garcia. I really appreciate everything you're doing. I just want to say the most exciting part of the presentation was the universal access for all TK through 6 students. While it is definitely very important that we target those who deserve the most, this universal access is really a big step, and I'm very excited for the future of the program. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion? Dr. Duarte.
I just want to say that I'm really excited for what's to come. The potential budget and what you've achieved so far, where we're going to get from here. So I'm rooting for you. Thank you.
Thank you all. And moving on to see item 19C, Employee Organization Reports, FSUDA, APA, CSCA, FISMA, not in no particular order. Is there anyone who would like to make a comment? Oh, right on. Okay, item D, Student Board Member Report. Ms. Perry, you have the floor.
Hi. So about 2 weeks ago, I actually had the chance to provide input on a lot of the district goals that Ms. McCabe came over and talked about. And on Tuesday night, I continued by actually joining my first ever LCAP subcommittee meeting. And I really wanted to focus on Goal 4 because it's something that's really intricate to my student council, and that's creating a safe, inclusive, and welcoming learning environment for all students. And I'm really grateful to actually be a part of that subcommittee. I got to sit down with not only teachers, but also a lot of parents, which is kind of intimidating, but it was really cool to be able to hear different voices and see a lot of new faces that really reflect our community. And that's all I have to say today. And good evening and good night. Bye.
Thank you. Moving on to item 21, written report and minutes from the Facilities Committee. Does anybody have any comments? I have a comment. I think if anybody has an opportunity on your visits, if you have an opportunity to go have lunch at the culinary restaurant over at Fairfield High School, please take advantage and just go, at least walking around to see the new PAC Center. I promised Mr. Speed after we went on that tour that I was never ever going to rail against, this is public now, right, against PSC about that building, because I've written op-eds about it and I've railed against it, and just seeing that for the first time and just seeing how beautiful it is, especially how welcoming that just opulent, that whole foyer is, and just what it's going to look like. So I'd like to thank Mr. Speed and all of his staff for all of your hard work and putting it into, I know he was like, we put a lot of work into this, and we could see that you did, and it's absolutely beautiful. Cannot wait till it is all done. So thank you very much. Does anybody else have any questions on that? Dr. Parr?
Not a question, but just a comment. It was so nice to be on my old campus where I graduated, Fairfield High, and see that beautiful theater, because I took theater class there, and the old building, the old theater did not look the same, let's just say that. And so it's just so professional. We can have some really wonderful performances held there. So I look forward to seeing what opportunities this new facility will open up for our community.
Thank you so much. Dr. Lee, did you have a comment? Oh, all right. Moving on to item 21B, written reports from the Governance Subcommittee. Are there any comments? I would like to commend Mr. Flynn on his very first time chairing a committee, and it was a governance committee, and I think you did a really amazing job with all of the new revisions that we have there. I'd also like to thank Ms. Perry for participating in that committee and for your input as well. Dr. Tilley, thank you for your clarification questions with regard to board member participation while they're on there. And so I'd like to also remind us all, we're adults here, and we are also here to encourage our students, to give them confidence to use their voices moving forward as young people. And I think it's important that when we have our student board members, whether they're in subcommittee meetings, whether in general meetings, that we make sure that she feels supported and that she feels like her voice is heard. And I hope we make a good enough effort to make sure that you feel comfortable and that you feel confident and that your voice is very important, whether it's in a subcommittee meeting, whether it's a governance committee, whether it's in the Fairfield-Suisun meeting or here, that your voice is very valued, and it's so important because you are who we're here for. Thank you very much. Are there any other comments with regard to the subcommittee? Mr. Wilson? Mr. Wilson, you have the floor. Did you have your hand up?
Yes.
You have the floor.
Item B, 21B, the governance committee minutes. The record will show that when I make a noticeable mistake, that I apologize in private and in public, which I'm happy to do again now. For some context, during the subcommittee meeting, I was ignorant of the exact composition of the subcommittee, and I challenged it. When discussion and checking documents revealed the truth, I changed my position and my vote to the group. Immediately expressed regret for my mistake to the group, and then later that day, personally and privately, apologized to the individuals who might have been offended. But the president has directed me to repeat the apology in front of the entire board. I will. I apologize for that mistake, and as reflected in the subcommittee minutes, and I'll do my best to see that it doesn't happen again. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the gracious apology. Moving on to item 22, adjournment. Tonight we're going to adjourn in memory of two people. First, Aminda Jane Oren, who's a retired FSUSD employee, and second, most recently, Mr. Gary St. Vincent, who was a teacher at Fairfield-Suisun Unified School District, Fairfield High School. Mr. St. Vincent was a teacher here for 8 years. I had the opportunity to meet him on one of the F-Student Orange Umbrella Tours about 3 years ago. He was so excited to see his students, and what he told me, he says, my students have come back to take me to lunch because they make more money than I do. And they come to thank me for all that I've taught them, because they're able to go out and be successful in their careers because of his tutelage. You know the sign of a good teacher when their students show up. At Mr. Vincent's memorial service last Friday, several of his students showed up and spoke of the impact that he had on their lives. And so look at our teachers and the impact that they have on our students' lives. Mr. St. Vincent reflected that. So I'd like to say thanks Mr. St. Vincent's family for sharing him with us, and also a special shout out to his daughter, Giselle St. Vincent, who works in the front office at Armio High School. So to the St. Vincent family, to Minda Jane Oren family, thank you all for sharing your father and your mom, if she was mom, and teacher with every single one of us, and may you both rest in love. Thank you very much for serving us, and on that note, we are adjourned until next month.